Hey everybody, and welcome to yet another Northernlion channel update. The trademark feature of which is that it probably comes out less frequently than it should, but to be honest with you, I find talking about working a little cumbersome, frustrating. I prefer to just be recording whenever possible instead of talking about what's going on, but it's nice to keep people abreast of the situation. I like to do this at crossroads that I face to talk about things that are happening with the channel, both positively and negatively. We will have some positive stuff, we will have some negative stuff to talk about here. No serious bad news like health concerns or something like that, so don't get freaked out. But we're going to talk about the future of the channel on a short-term level, and hopefully solicit your feedback on stuff and just keep you in the know as for what's happening. And of course, you could probably hear Tchaikovsky's 1812 overture in the background there, as it often pipes up during GeoGuessr as well. Thank you, YouTube Audio Library, for your Creative Commons no attribution required, because he's been dead for like 170 years. Anyway, we're gonna go over to scene 8 here, and the first thing I'm gonna say is don't freak out. Ultimate Chicken Horse is sticking around. I just put this picture here to say thank you for your support on the Ultimate Chicken Horse series. It's been awesome to play. I recognize that it's extremely popular as well in terms of, like, you know, semi-long running series on the channel. I'm stoked that so many people are enjoying watching it. I think it's making really good content. Obviously the community's picked up on it in a big way. There's all sorts of inside jokes and, you know, new memes, if that's what you're into. I am. Every single episode, and it's just to say thank you for that, and new episodes are on the way. We got no, you know, lag time in between them. We always have a backlog for it, and I'm really excited that with Ultimate Chicken Horse, every single episode seems to bring something new to the table in terms of, like, you know, design or strategy of our levels, which is really cool. One of the main reasons I wanted to do this channel update is to actually talk about Civilization 6, which is something that's come up a little bit. Tomo, you can exit. I know you don't want to be trapped in here. I've been asked a lot. Civ 6 is a big game, and I've played strategy games on my channel before. Obviously, I've played strategy games from Firaxis with, you know, XCOM, Enemy Unknown, Enemy Within, XCOM 2, etc., etc. And then there's a little overlap as well, because people watch me play Europa Universalis 4 and Crusader Kings 2. But I haven't done any Civ 6 content. I have played a little bit of the game. To be honest with you, I'm really bad at Civ, and I think that this is like a little bit of an unfair thing to say, but I'm so bad at it that I sort of don't want to play it. Like, the community intimidates me in a way, because Civ is this long-running franchise. I played a lot of Civ 2, I played a lot of Civ 4, and a lot of Civ 5, but with Civ 6, I was kind of getting stomped in the pre-release build by AI, and then the game came out, and everybody's like, oh, the AI is really dumb. They're so easy to exploit. Really, this is just a situation where, like, I need to put more time into the game. You probably won't see a Let's Look At, but if the NLSS crew does more, you know, Civ 6 multiplayer, there's a chance I'll jump in on that. The big reason that this came up a lot is people were like, hey, you know, Rob, Nick, Austin, Dan, Bear, and I think maybe some other people. I didn't look into the group to see who's in it, but they're playing Civ 6. Like, why aren't you playing Civ 6? Did you guys have, like, a falling out or something? No falling out, you know, I got the invite. I was just like, I think that I'm going to be really bad at it, and I worry that this is one of those games where when you're really bad at it, it's not really that enjoyable to watch. Like, if you're really bad at Ultimate Chicken Horse, it's still fun, because there's zaniness, but if you're really bad at Civ 6, you know, you make a mistake on turn 20 that keeps snowballing into bigger and bigger mistakes as the game goes on. There's still, like, room for emerging gameplay in the multiplayer. I'm not trying to say that the videos would have been bad, just I bowed out. I didn't think it was necessarily the best use of my time. Not to insult those guys. I've got more collaborations coming with them in the coming days. We got some, you know, funny stuff coming up for a couple of 2-off Halloween videos that should be neat. Games that I don't normally play. Hopefully those go over well. But yeah, that's the status on Civ 6. I suck at it, and I'm letting that paralyze me into not posting content of it. Mostly because, you know, I'm playing other stuff. And I think that there's plenty of people who are better at me than the game whose content you can watch, and that's cool as well. You know, I don't need to play every game that's out there, although sometimes it feels like it. But by all accounts, I've heard Civ 6 is really good. So, drum roll, please. Let's get into the big news of this episode. What's the status on RimWorld? This is obviously not a picture of my RimWorld base. This is taken from the website, because as you can see, these guys know what they're doing. I still love RimWorld, and I say that because it's true, but I'm probably gonna have to... I'm not gonna cancel the series outright right now, but this is your notice that RimWorld is on life support. And it's not the game, it's me. You know, I've been playing badly at the game, and the community has kind of turned against it. And it's still like, it's turned against it to the extent where it's still like 90, 95% of people like the videos, and like 5% of people have like some discourse that they're not too pleased with. And that's okay, I mean, that's still good, but popularity has dwindled down on it a lot, and to be honest with you, it seems like the community's kind of had enough of me playing RimWorld for now. But this is like a Prison Architect situation where I like the game, I just need to come back and, you know, take the 1,000 lessons I've learned, hopefully remember like 700 of them when a new update comes out down the line, and this is a game that I can always slot in whenever I don't know what to play. So RimWorld, I'm going to keep it going for now. I sort of want to see how this colony ends, but note that if uploads start to get a little bit more spotty, the cancellation was known. But you have my word, I will at least end the final episode. I will call the final episode finale and say that this is the final episode. I'm doing a lot better with closure lately. Because it sucks when people get left in the dark, and it leads to things like me getting tweeted when there's a day without a video for a series, and they go, oh, it's canceled again. And they just like, he canceled the other ones. Hey, you turkeys, Gungeon, I called it finale, we introduced it, we had a good time, we gave it a good sending off. One of the reasons that RimWorld has gone on as long as it has is that there's really nothing to take its spot right now. You know, I'm kind of waiting on like another game that's seemingly endless or special. Like, I get a lot of tweets and people are like, you should play more games like Quadrilateral Cowboy, or you should play more games like Inside. And I agree. Like, I love doing those short one-off Let's Play series that really I can knock out in a day or two, and they're great games, they're memorable experiences, and they make for good content. But those games are special. They don't come out all that often, and you know, I don't really want to just be like, okay, well, let's axe RimWorld and just play like random game that looks sort of okay on Steam. So I'm being more selective. RimWorld's a special game. Even if you've soured on me playing it, it's a great experience. It's probably maybe one of my top 5 games I've played this year. And if anything, I apologize for not getting better at it faster. But this is something I'd say, like, when this colony ends, I'll be going back to RimWorld at some point in the future. Although it's probably best to take some time apart. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. So don't be surprised if you see a RimWorld episode called Finale sometime in the next week or two, when I have something to replace it with, hopefully, in that 2 p.m. slot. Speaking of things to replace it with, don't think this is me doing a Gwent series necessarily, but I have Let's Look Ats coming up, and that's something that, you know, if I'm doing Let's RimWorld, it's a lot easier to slot in stuff that's new and I can take a look at and do Let's Look At stuff. They've been, like, maybe 1 Let's Look At a week. I'd like to get that up to maybe 3 Let's Look Ats a week, and this amount of time frees that up for sure. But there's a Let's Look At of Gwent coming up. I was really excited about this. I played it at E3. It's a collectible card game that is based on the collectible card game from the Witcher universe, and I got into the beta, so I've been playing a little bit of that, maybe more than a little bit of that, and a Let's Look At of that is coming up. That's going to be quite long. That'll be up sometime this week. And I also have a Let's Look At of a game called Political Animals coming up. Apart from that, I'm trying to see, like, I check Steam every day for stuff that is good for that I think at least would be good for Let's Look Ats. And to be honest with you, a lot of the time there's just stuff that doesn't necessarily look bad, but doesn't look like it's appropriate for the channel. Like, I'm not really interested in playing visual novels. Again, I'm not shit-talking visual novels. It's just not the kind of thing that I like to play. And, you know, it's been Halloween. It's been the week of Halloween, at least. There's been so many horror games that, to be honest with you, although this is writing them off unfairly, kind of just look like cheap cash-ins. Like, if any of these games came out in, like, April, it would get a lot less attention. So, it's been a little bit dry for stuff like that. But Gwent is cool. Political Animals is pretty neat. And you will see Gwent on the channel. Maybe I'll do some friendly games of Gwent. I know Mathis is in the beta as well. It doesn't seem to me like something that has the potential to be a long-running series right now in its beta form, but, you know, if people really like what they see from the Gwent Let's Look At, there's a chance that I could rope some people in for some games. It's a little less immediately dynamic than, you know, jumping into saws or getting caught in glue collusion, but it can be fun nonetheless, and I've been playing a ton of Hearthstone, man. I'm into the CCG meta on a digital level right now. By the way, sorry for grabbing a photo that was like 640 by 360p. Oh, hey, we didn't see you there hiding. That's GeoGuessr. This is kind of like where I wanted to end this channel update. So to recap, first off, I don't hate the other people in my group. We collaborate all the time. I bowed out of Civ 6 because of my own performance anxiety and feelings of inadequacy about it, which might have been a mistake, but, you know, let's let bygones be bygones on that one. Thank you for the support on Ultimate Chicken Horse. RimWorld, I'd still sincerely thank you for the support on it, but maybe it's time to spend some time apart. I'd love to hear your suggestions below for stuff that you'd love to see a series of. And moreover, to tie into like the Civ 6 and the and the like Ultimate Chicken Horse and the GeoGuessr image is obviously up on screen. I want to know what you guys think about collaborations on the Northernlion channel in general. Like, I've been of the mindset for a long time that I want this channel to be, like, you subscribed probably to see me playing stuff. And I have my own idiosyncratic stuff that I play that's really cool. I'm going to put a bigger picture on the screen right now because the black space is annoying me here. But, you know, you like the monologues, you like the rants, you like the weird non sequiturs that happen as I get deeper and deeper into my own psyche after like half an hour of playing something and talking to myself. So I don't want, and I've never wanted to just be like, you know, it's Thursday, 8 collab videos. You know, here's 15-minute cuts of Gmod or something like that. I'm not looking down on that kind of content. It's just not the kind of content that I was interested in making. However, if people really like collaboration stuff, and if they like it more than solo stuff, I can definitely make more of an effort to include stuff like that on the channel. I'm always looking for stuff that I can play by myself that I think is going to, you know, do a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to making compelling single-player content, like, you know, Isaac, for example. Inside was another great one for that. And Ultimate Chicken Horse, I mean, we're not the stars of the show. The game is so good that we're just along for the ride. But I can definitely, you know, come up with more stuff that emerging gameplay would kind of, like, arise in a multiplayer environment. So if people are more into that stuff, feel free to let me know as well. And don't feel bad if that's not the case. Don't feel bad if you're watching this and you're like, you know, I don't really watch the collab stuff. I mostly watch the solo stuff. You know, I want to hear your opinion as well. I want it to be like a representative plebiscite if possible. I also want to hear a little bit more about your opinion on games that you think would be good for solo series. Like, honestly, a lot of the games that have enamored me lately have been stuff that is not great for video content. I don't really want to do a Hearthstone series. The community for that game scares me. I kind of like being on the outside and being able to shitpost about it without having to be a bastion of positivity within the community. And also, I'm still pretty bad. So I'm not really sure if I'm cut out to be Mr. Hearthstone right now, but it might show up on a stream or something later. But, you know, I got really into Shenzhen.io, and it's a bummer, but that's just a game that doesn't stream well. You know, or it doesn't go on YouTube well either. It's a great game to be like, check it out. Here's this like amazing thing that I built, and you do like a 5-minute tutorial, but not so much to be like, here's 45 minutes of me debugging, you know, assembly language on a microcontroller. So it's been like a weird kind of like barren area. I'm looking at stuff like Project Coaster. If that ends up having like a really nice tycoon mode, which really appeals to me, then the next beta version of that might be something that I'm into. But apart from that, I'm a little bit at a loss, honestly, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, sometimes from artificial barriers like this come a lot of creativity. But I thought I would keep you guys posted, and I hope that you've enjoyed the channel recently. I hope you're not too bummed out that RimWorld will probably be ending at some point in the near future. And beyond that, I really appreciate your support. Glad you guys are still enjoying Isaac. Glad you're still enjoying Ultimate Chicken Horse. The NLSSs have been great lately. If you're not watching that, it's the best content that I make. Go to twitch.tv/Northernlion or catch the VODs on YouTube. Lots of fun stuff. But for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.